The United performance was as flat and downright bad as probably we've seen all season long. And the second Newcastle goal highlights the problems we've had ever since Carrick took charge. I've highlighted Cunha as apparently he's allergic to playing on the left wing, so he's constantly playing in the centre of the pitch. As the ball comes out to Bruno Fernandes, again Cunha making little to no effort to actually peel in out to the left wing. Malacia as well, I've highlighted him as I think he could peel a little bit wider as well, because I can draw that line again, similar to what I did up against Crystal Palace, and United all cramped into one half of the pitch, and it makes defending for the opposition pretty easy then. But Bruno Fernandes does what Bruno Fernandes does, plays that ball into a dangerous area. Cunha not really anticipating it well enough, and he loses that ball, and as the ball comes out then, Bruno Fernandes can't win it back straight away, and then you've got the alarm bells ringing. It's hard to dig Malacia out too much because he simply just shouldn't be putting on a United shirt. I do think that Aiden Heaven probably should have come on in that left-back spot, but I'm going to keep running this instance on because it just highlights how bad the defending really was here. Because Malacia, I don't know how much pace he's lost due to injury, but I don't know why that gap was able to form. Malacia does get back into position well enough, but his body position when he gets there is simply all wrong. Showing Osula infield, and again, you run it on, and Malacia is just all over the place. Maguire doesn't get out to him well enough. Osula can find the net, and Newcastle get the goal they probably deserved in that second half. Before I get fully into the tactics, I will say that pretty much every United player had a bad game. The intensity, the sharpness, again, just wasn't there. We haven't played many games this season, but we still can't match teams physically. I do think a lot of that is down to the profiles that we've got in this squad. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But first off, I want to talk more about United in attack. And largely in this game, the struggles that we had was very similar to what we saw versus Palace. And with that Mbeumo-Cunha wing pairing, we just had no natural width holders. I do think Carrick made a mistake there even before the first whistle was blown. United should have started Ahmad in this game, but the fact that Ahmad didn't see the pitch until the 70-odd minute, that was downright negligible from Carrick. And Mbeumo squandered probably our two best chances in this game, and overall his link-up play was really bad, and I just do think United should have made that change a lot earlier, and Carrick, the fact that he didn't, I mean, that's a red flag for me. Also the fact that Xerxes, it took him so long to come on, I think United needed a player in the pockets. They got it with Xerxes, but he did almost obviously impact the game, but just didn't have enough time really, I don't think, to really do it. Then United in attack, it was these issues all game long. As the ball comes out wide, Cunha is in a decent enough position to start with, but he makes little to no effort to actually peel out to the left wing. So again, Luke Shaw, when he receives it, he turns and looks, and he's got very limited options. Cunha, again, just sort of standing in the half spaces, making no attempt to peel out wide, so Luke Shaw has to stop. Then United, all momentum is lost. Luke Shaw has to just recycle the possession. I've highlighted Casemiro here because he recognises the fact that we need a little bit more of a presence out in the wide areas. But it's not ideal having your centre defensive midfielder picking up the ball in those sort of areas. That should be what Cunha's doing, but he's instead still just in the half spaces, not really making himself that available. But as you run it on, Cunha does eventually get that ball, but it was a sloppy pass by him out wide, and Newcastle can get that ball back. It was an instance where Cunha was just very, very frustrating in this game. No natural wit from him, but also when he was on the ball, just really not good enough. It wasn't just a Cunha issue, it was also the same with Bryan Mbeumo as well. And Mbeumo here, again, not really holding the width in those sort of half spaces. He makes a decent run first half, trying to get in behind the Newcastle defence. But when he doesn't get that ball, I'm just highlighting him here because he again just doesn't really help Dalot much in this instance whatsoever. Because as that ball is recycled, Mbeumo slowly creeps more and more into Newcastle's box. And you're looking at it, Dalot, when he's about to receive this ball, again, just isolated out on the wing. Again, where have we seen that before? And you're looking at it, well, Mbeumo is providing the numbers in the box for a cross. Yeah, that's fair enough. But you're asking a lot from Dalot, your fullback, to do something 1v1 up against Joe Linton in order just to get a decent cross in the box. We're getting such limited play from United in wide areas in order to facilitate a cross, and we're asking a lot from our fullbacks then just to do something. We're asking a lot from Bruno Fernandes to swing crosses in from the half spaces. It can work like it did up against Palace, but then in other games then it looks a bit unimaginative. But Dogu obviously being back soon, he can provide a little bit more of that natural width from the left, but then he's not a left winger either. So Carrick obviously does have plenty of headaches within this squad. First and foremost, I will blame Ineos and co for building such an imbalanced team, but it's also true that Carrick has seen these issues now for the past few weeks, but he's done very little to find solutions for it. And in the press again, United just struggled for any sort of intensity, and we know Carrick likes to keep that +1 on the back line, so it is very much a safety-first approach. And then United's midfield then just struggled to cope with the physicality that Newcastle do bring. Mino here, you see he's got 2 players to mark. We're asking a lot of him, doing that sort of hybrid marking role. And as the ball comes into the midfield here, Casemiro again is anticipating the ball going into Jacob Ramsey. So he makes a little bit of sort of a sidestep to that area. So it allows Joe Linton to pick up that ball. As Joe Linton comes in field then, Cunha doesn't do enough to recognise the fact that Trippier is free behind him. So then that fullback again is free on that side. Newcastle evading that United press, really then getting Newcastle playing on United's last line. We've seen it up against Crystal Palace with their wing-backs being free, and it was similar in this Newcastle game. It was usually Trippier who was the spare man outside, and if Newcastle could find him, they would evade in that United press, and they could play in that last line where United do like to keep that +1, which is fair enough from Carrick, but you do need physical midfielders then to keep up with, obviously, the demands of this press, which United just don't have right now. And it's this passage of play that highlights United's lack of athleticism in that midfield, because as the ball comes in here, Joe Linton finds a little bit of space. Mazraoui does win the ball back here though. So Casemiro, you're looking at it, can Casemiro just keep hold of the ball a little bit? No, Joe Linton is there, bites in, just wins that ball back from him. But then Cunha does really well to intercept the pass from Tonali into Jacob Ramsey. So again, Mino here now, can you just keep hold of the ball a little bit? No, loses that ball to Jacob Ramsey. I don't think Carrick covered himself in a lot of glory last night, but when you add into the fact that he doesn't want to bring Ugarte into this game, but he sort of had to, because Casemiro can't play 2 games in a week. He felt it necessary to bring Malacia on as well, because of Mazraoui's injury. But the fact that these two are still seeing minutes in a United shirt just highlights the lack of depth and the squad issues that Carrick has to deal with right now. So the fact that United have 2 starting centre midfielders, and that's it. The fact that we have no left winger is only really Dalot in the fullback positions that can get comfortably up and down the pitch as well to provide that overlapping option. Carrick does have a lot of issues to sort out in this squad, and obviously we're not going to do that until the summer. So that's why I'm going to cut Carrick a huge amount of slack, even though I do think he didn't do great in this game. And there we are, guys. We've got squad issues. We've got, obviously, Carrick trying to find his feet as United manager as well. Overall, it just led to a pretty bad showing by United. But we're still in a decent position. It's all still in our hands. The annoying thing is now we've got to wait 11 days or so to see that Villa game and really see if Carrick can make the improvements to really adjust to what we saw in this Newcastle game. But that game up against Villa is absolutely huge. Make sure you stay in tune for the channel for all the build-up to it, guys. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.